The Chicago Bulls find themselves up by 10 against the Washington Wizards. This has been a more back and forth game than the score right now at halftime would tell you, but you already know. We're going to break it all down and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. This time at halftime hangout, the Chicago Bulls are up by 10 right now against the Washington Wizards, the team that beat them in the last game, 125-107. But hey, let's look at this one, man. The Chicago Bulls right now, Zach LaVine has 18 points. He's plus 13 from the field. He's 7 of 12 in that 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal. He's playing really good right now. Nikola Vucevic already with a double-double at 10 points, 11 rebounds, 6 points from Josh Giddey. He has 6, 6, and 4. He is officially on triple-double watch. We'll see if it ends up being a Vegemite night. Kobe White's 2 of 6 from the field right now. He needs to tighten that up a little bit. Jalen Smith, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He went back to the locker room. Looks like he rolled his ankle a little bit about that. And Patrick Williams is 1 for 5, 3 steals, 3 assists, 2 turnovers in the game. I hate to tell you, Steph, but he's still not playing that good of defense. Like it's he's playing against the Washington Wizards. Like the Washington Wizards are the least efficient offense in the league right now. Shea could guard these people out there right now. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But other than that, man, Bulls are playing really well right now. THC needs to go to China and Pat needs to be traded ASAP. I'm done with him. Well, Pat isn't, unfortunately, Pat has no trade value. So you're probably not going to trade Pat anytime soon. But, you know, otherwise in this game, the Bulls have 6 second chance points. They have 15 fast break points to only 5 for the Washington Wizards. Also, 27 bench points to their 22 points in the paint. The Bulls are a rare feat, leading in points in the paint so far with 34-27 in that. You look at points off turnovers, 12 for the Wizards, 10 for the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls do have 9 turnovers in this game, but because they're playing so good on offense right now, we're 56% from the field as a team, 40% from 3, going 9 of 22. I like that they're not taking like 35 threes in the first half of this game. When you look at the rebounding battle, we're winning that by 5, and we have 21 assists on 27 made baskets. That's really freaking good. That's really good. So the Bulls are playing really good team basketball right now. They came out with energy early on. The energy's been felt. It's kept it going. And you love to see that from this team. This is what we know, how this team can play when they're on. And right now, this team is passing the ball. They're moving it, right? We have 21 assists. As I said, we have 51. 51 of our 68 points have come off assists. That's really freaking good. That's really good. So the Bulls just need to keep that up against this Washington Wizards team, and we can get this dub, man. Yo, Haize, think Patrick Williams must have saw your video about him because he held Kuzma 3 points. He played okay. What do you think about Casey and Stacey advocating for Zach to stay? Sounds like they think he may be moved and don't want it to happen. Also, did Stacey call THT Unk? You know what? It's funny because THT looks like he should be in his Unk era. Like if you looked at me and THT, which one of us would you think is closer to 40? Which one? Vegemite incoming if BD plays Giddey in the second half. Very well could be. Can someone please teach Patrick Williams how to use his hands? Hey, listen, Patrick Williams has played a solid game. All jokes aside, he's played a solid game so far. Zach deserves to stay here. If they trade him, we will regret it for years to come. Listen, I don't believe that. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that Zach LaVine is going to go off and play great somewhere. But keep in mind, if any team that's looking to trade for Zach LaVine, it's for him to be basically their number 3 option. If Zach LaVine is your number 3 option, you better damn well be a championship contender. But you got to think, the future of the Bulls right now, with the next 3 years of Zach LaVine, is maybe a cap of a 41 win team that may never win a playoff series, that may never get to the second round of the playoffs, that may not even get to the play-in. So I don't think we'd regret it. Like the people got to stop attaching a player meaning that if you trade a player, you're going to regret if they're going to be good. No, sometimes trading players because you realize that they're good, but you realize we ain't going to do shit with this guy while we're here. And I don't know about y'all, but AK, I don't trust him to use assets. Do you want the Bulls to trade first round picks to add to this team? Okay, maybe they after the Spurs pick conveys, they have a chance to do that. But then you got to make sure you get the right guys. Otherwise, we're going to be right back in the same spot we were when we acquired DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic, and we gave up first to get that team together. So you better damn well know that core is going to be it, right? Otherwise, if you're not willing to trade off your first round picks because you want those young players to be able that you want to keep that to have young assets that you can develop, okay, cool. The Bulls have some free agency money, but have we ever been really contenders in free agency? Right, so that you got to look at everything in totality when it comes down to it. Kobe needs to keep getting downhill. It works better for him. Pat sucks. That's Jesus Christ. Seaway went right to the jugular. Not bad at all, except P. Will is still playing like he needs glasses. Pat trying to be aggressive, but bro has no coordination and he has no touch. His feel for the game looks awful. Why does he constantly need a battery in his back, even to look like he's trying harder? That y'all are killing P. Will today. That's crazy. Might have to change P. Will's starting role at this point. That's y'all are killing that man. Kenneth, Pat is not a lockdown defender. I went over the numbers. He allowed opponents that Patrick Williams is guarding one-on-one are shooting almost 60%. Within 5 feet, 71%. Like, so no, that's not a lockdown defender. That's just remedial. He's not a lockdown defender by any stretch of the imagination. I thought THC was my age, 38. THC is what, 24 years old? Who do you think can help P. Will with this grip strength on the ball? Tiana Trump. She got him. She got him. I'm telling y'all, she got it. Let's see if P. Will can have efficient in second half offensively. He's playing solid in this game so far. Efficient? Offensively, no. Defensively, I give he's 1 of 5 offensively. The problem with Billy developing is he doesn't let players play through mistakes. Like, let Pat go out there and make mistakes. Patrick Williams has gone out there and made a lot of mistakes over the last 5 years. This is as well as I know there are some second-round picks who became all-stars or superstars, but I don't know what Acme saw in Paul P. Will that made him draft him at number 4. Oh, no, listen. I disagree with. There's a lot to see in P. Will, especially in a weak draft class where most of the players that you were taking shots at were all based off potential. P. Will showed some. He was starting to rise up in the draft combine. I do think the Bulls could have traded down and probably got him lower, but P. Will's draft stock was already rising in that draft. But that was a weak draft overall. Haize, if you was the coach, would you put Patrick Williams on the bench and start? Modest, listen, I get it, and I gotta be honest here. I would start Julian or Torrey Craig if he was healthy, but Modest Bucelis is not ready to start. He's just not. He's not good enough defensively. He doesn't have right now the instincts to be it. It'd be different if the Bulls were in the place where we were when we drafted Patrick Williams, where at that point we were a rebuilding team that was just trying to develop guys. Then yes, I would start Modest. But in this team that they're right now trying to win and compete and playing basketball games and trying to win basketball games, I can't say that Modest should be starting over P. Will right now. This is, first of all, I almost skipped this. I don't know. That's crazy. TC making the black don't crack look like a hella lie. That is hilarious. That's funny. It's actually pretty hilarious how reputation as a defender in the NBA seems more important than these players actually do. People still say Zach is a trash defender, but P. Will is elite. And Zach LaVine has been considerably better than P. Will defensively this year. Considerably better. So, brother, agree with your vid yesterday. P. Will has fall off dramatically at the one thing he was decent at and don't do much offensively. He can eventually prove me wrong. I'll always root for anybody here. Yeah, and I agree with that, right? That video yesterday was never meant to portray it as if this is it for P. Will. P. Will can't get better. It was just to take an acknowledgement over the fact that P. Will was really good at something. He was really solid at something. And that has gotten worse. And the offense hasn't gotten better. So if your offense hasn't gotten better, it was never great. Your defense was good to solid, and that's gotten worse. That means overall you've gotten worse just by the nature of just the facts, right? And so we'll see if P. Will can get that together. We'll see if he can get it together. No lie, get frustration with P. Will. Bulls fans been patient with him. He does have a lot of potential, but I don't know. Might be the play style. The Bulls may be pushing to play too fast. Well, listen, that's not the excuse that he's had the last 4 years, though, right? Like, this is the first year we've played with this type of pace. I can understand that being the excuse if it was like we're always this team that push. Like, theoretically, playing with a faster pace should actually help Patrick Williams more, right? But it's just, I listen, and I've said this before many times when it comes to P. Will. At some point, you just got to accept who people are. And right now, unless something drastically changes, P. Will's a role player. And that's perfectly fine. There are a lot of role players in the NBA that stick around for a long time. There are a lot of role players that end up playing a role on a championship team. P. Will can have a long, just fine role player career. And that's okay. That's okay. Facts, your video was informative, but if I'm being real, it really pains me when you read off those stats. I want him to be good so bad, but I can't argue this shit much longer. And that's where I got to, right? And I started off, and it's funny because that video came from a place of me wanting to defend P. Will, right? That's why I initially started doing the research on those numbers, because I wanted to be like, hey, like, everybody's so hard on P. Will, but P. Will is really good defensively. Let me pull these numbers to prove it. And then as I'm going and I'm digging deeper in the weeds and deeper in the analytics and stuff like that, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. One thing for sure, we will see a much better P. Will once Vooch and Levine are gone. He won't have a choice. No, they said the same thing about DeMar leaving. That's not true. Like, very rarely do players that have shown nothing all of a sudden turn out to be much more aggressive when two players are gone. Usually, if you're talking about a player that you're going to say, oh, well, once these players are gone, they'll be a little bit, it's because they've already shown consistent that they can do that consistently. P. Will is not. He's not. So no, I'm not going to. P. Will is passive. His passive nature is not going to all of a sudden change because Vooch and Zach LaVine are gone. It's not. Because then, guess what? There's still dogs on this team. Kobe, Io, even Josh Giddey has more killer instinct than Patrick Williams. Modest, Julian, Dalen, right? So if you're passive, you're going to be passive regardless. I don't think that's all of a sudden going to change his personality or mindset. And that's the biggest thing holding P. Will back. It's not skill. It's not potential. It's not inability. It's the fact that he doesn't give a shit. And that's what's so frustrating about it. If you took Javonte Green's heart and put it in P. Will, he would literally be one of the best two-way players in the league. I'm not saying to be a star, but one of the better two-way players in the league. And I said this in the Discord. Patrick Williams' high school principal said they wanted him to shoot more, and he didn't shoot more. His college teammates said they wanted him to shoot more. He didn't shoot more. DeMar DeRozan said that if he didn't shoot more, he was going to smack him. He didn't shoot more. Zach LaVine has said he wants Patrick Williams to shoot more. He hasn't shot more. But Billy Donovan has said that he wanted people to be more aggressive. He's not more aggressive. At some point, you just got to come to the realization this motherfucker just ain't aggressive. It's just not going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. But all right, y'all. I'll be back, man. I will catch you guys after the game, post-game show. Love you guys.